This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kadojo.
Welcome back, everyone, adepts, acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kadojo.
Hello there.
And welcome to 2026, because, we're in the new year. We're in a whole new year for the world, and specifically the galaxy, because, we have a lot of Star Wars stuff this year. We have one new film, one possibly two new TV shows, and two new games.
Two.
We have Mandalorian the Grogu film. We have Maul Shadow Lord dropping this year, for sure.
That's right.
Ahsoka Season 2 is speculated for this year. We don't have any official confirmation yet. We have Star Wars Galactic Racer for the games, as well as Star Wars Zero Company, finally. So excited for that. No,
supposedly?
It's still confirmed for this year. So...
I hate it when games are announced and there's nothing for months and months.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised here in the next couple of months we'll see a state of play or something specifically with these games. I mean, Star Wars Galactic Racer was just announced last month.
Yeah, but Zero Company's
been out for almost a year ago.
Yeah.
So
I hate that.
Trust me, I do too. It gives us all false hope. KOTOR. Like the KOTOR remake. Please come out. But anyway, we are here to go into part 4 of 000's story, because he has a lot of story. And everybody blame Kodojo for this. He picked the character.
You are begging for one.
I just had to throw you in the bus. That's okay. Hey, after we get done with 000, we'll probably go into the most loved era of Star Wars that at least we both love, and talked about characters and stuff during that time period. Because Fate of the Old Republic is apparently coming out in the next 4 years. Within the next 4 years. But anyway, so with 000, so Evazan observed the situation. So this is Evazan's Gambit. So this is obviously more comics. Had an engineer alongside his friend Ponda Baba through a signal that transmitted both visual and audio via 000's photoreceptors. Evazan admitted to orchestrating the experiment as a form of entertainment for Baba, for whom Evazan was constructing a cybernetic arm. 000 and Aphra traveled to Milvanon, a world heavily controlled by law enforcement, in hopes of removing the implants.
Okay, so just a quick reminder.
Yes.
The duo you see in A New Hope that picks on Luke Skywalker are galactic level psychopaths. They have forced 000 and Aphra together after they agree to never see each other again.
Correct. And by the way, these are the people in the Mos Eisley's cantina in A New Hope, where
Yes.
Obi-Wan cuts off a guy's arm. That's this guy.
He wasn't joking that he's wanted in 13 systems, death penalty and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. So immediately after arriving on Milvan, 000 threatened, tortured, and killed a docking port official who refused a bribe offered by Aphra to accept classified documents. 000 began to outpace Aphra, causing the doctor to remind him about the implants and scold him for the earlier course of action. The droid reasoned that his method was more efficient, conserving credits and providing him with the opportunity to commit murder. 000 and Aphra were quickly pursued by the further law enforcement.
Hey, we saved money and I got to commit murder. That resets the clock.
Right. Yeah, because that's... oh my god. So Alfred opted to take cover behind the speeder in order 000 to stick close. 000 instead wandered to another speeder, which he preferred for his decorative red stripe, triggering implants and kill with the pilot. Alfred rejoined him, once again frustrated by his meandering and murderous tendencies, with 000 defending his decision in favor of the stripe. Aphra reprimanded 000, stating that the murder was not always a fitting solution, which he dismissed as an organic way of thinking.
Yeah, 000 is just a murder hobo from D&D at this point.
Yeah, he's chaotic evil, period. That no ifs and or buts. So 000 called upon BT-1 to kill the Millennium officers until Alpha reminded him that BT was no longer around. The droid then requested the security fob for Pazla's ship, informing Alpha that while killing her would detonate the implants, he would torture her creatively without consequence. 000 then used the remote to detonate the ship remotely, injuring nearby civilians and providing a distraction. 000 and Alpha then escaped from the occupied officials.
The first
God.
part is, I don't have to kill you, but I can't kill you, but I can make your life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Second, injuring nearby civilians. Wow.
Yeah, he's
he gives zero Fs right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. So, moving on, Alpha, while assessing the local holonet after posed to 000 that Poseless ship has been their only way off of Milvan, 000 postulated that nearly infinite possibilities existed, with one that took an enlightened attitude to coercing others by causing suffering. The droid brought up Alpha's own betrayal of her lover, Magna Tolvin, in the agony that she had caused her as the archaeologist attempted to search for the information on the other woman. Wow. Dear God.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to the extremes at this point.
So Alpha tried to remind 000 that his connections to BT-1, but he denied any loss behind the encrypted memories and that the astromech had contained, noting that BT's destruction just made him hate Alpha more. 000 then asked for a mirror and began to make threats against Elvazon, who was listening on the other end of the transmission. Alpha located Dr. Ramanus, a cybernetics, and requested that 000 would let them do things her way with civility, thank you. 000 responded that he was a protocol droid. Civility was a part of his programming. That's a bunch of baloney. That's BS.
He could have fooled me.
Right? Oh, yeah. This is totally part of my programming. And then go ahead and snap some dude's neck. Like, really? So Alpha approached Noose and requested that he remove the explosives from herself and 000, the droid adding that he did not trust Alpha with the personality matrix. 000 then stated to threaten these cybernetics into compliance when Aphra interjected, offering him credits. 000 found a mirror in which his view of his reflection as he continued taunting Evelyn, and seated both 000 and Aphra for surgery shortly thereafter. Dear God. So,
yeah, this whole thing just escalates so fast, so quickly.
Mm-hmm. So before the procedure began, Aphra spoke to 000, hoping to deduce his future interactions towards her, and they apologized for encrypting his memories. 000 remarked that once upon a time he thought he and Aphra are the same, or at least compatible. Contemplating her time as both his master and his slave, 000 related his initial intentions to improve Aphra, and that, for a time, he had truly grown fond of her.
Despite all the things we've been through, I kind of like you, kid.
Right?
Jeez.
So the droid then identified regret and guilt as Aphra's greatest flaws, noting her apology just moments before and stated his intent to murder her slowly after the operation. 000 expressed that Aphra had made recent events entertaining and considered giving her a 5-minute head start out of sentiment. Aphra tried to reason with the protocol droid, noting that the corporation often had a better outcome than betrayal in the long run, but 000 responded that he was far from ordinary and that Aphra's time was running short.
To be fair, a 5-minute head start with a protocol droid that can only shuffle, it's a pretty good head start.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I mean, if you remember C-3PO, all he could do was shuffle.
Yeah, he can't like run or anything like that. Anything crazy. So once the protocol droid was complete, the 000, or once the procedure was complete, 000 insisted on handling Nuss's payment himself and reminded Aphra of her head start. 000 then requested that Nuss trace Evelyn's broadcast signal, which the doctor was unable to do. The droid consequently found Nuss nonetheless, or useless, and upon being asked for payment, chided the doctor for being uncivil and murdered him. Aphra subsequently discovered that Nuss had botched the surgery, triggering a failsafe and leaving them with only 10 hours before the bombs would detonate, walking in on 000 standing over Nuss's body.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Well, granted, he did screw up the surgery. You didn't know that beforehand.
True. So 23 minutes later, 000 and Aphra had relocated to a rooftop. 000 continued to make graphic threats, or as he termed them, promises against Evelyn and his own reflection. Having at last acquired a mirror, 000 prompted Aphra to share the idea she was formulating, who revealed that she was looking into Professor Prexo, a mentor of Nuss's who had mentioned it before his death. Unfortunately, Nuss did not accept unsolicited communications and lived on another area of the planet, with travel being difficult due to 000 and Aphra's lack of proper identification and newfound status as fugitives.
I forgot to mention this, but constantly looking in the mirror just to talk to somebody that's in your eyeball.
Right.
Yeah, that's a little weird. You just walking past and you just see a guy yelling at a mirror. And also, I think at this point in the story, the local authorities finally figured out what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm. So 000 voices admiration for the local law system out of his basis of betrayal and fear until witnessing several offenders, including droids, thrown off a building, at which point he went silent. Aphra came up with a plan, though 000 expressed his immediate distaste, citing Aphra's anxiety for a son for whatever she had in mind would require him to trust others and to act of accepting bribes or plain decency rather than coercing them through pain and torture. Yeah. I mean, stop killing people randomly. It's not going to help. Sorry. So Aphra blamed 000's murder of Nuss for their current situation, while 000 took the accusation as slanderous, including instead blaming Aphra for her interaction with Evelyn, and it resulted in being fixed with explosive implants in the first place. Aphra observed that her betrayals constantly had consequences, 000 being an obnoxious example, and once again asked the protocol droid to proceed without committing indiscriminate murder.
To a point, 000 is right, because if it wasn't for Aphra, they wouldn't have these implants in their heads.
For point. That's fair. Meh. But 12 minutes and 0 homicides later, which is a good
New
start.
record.
Aphra offered a transport driver a bribe and took book passage to Millivon's South District without proper ID. 000 grumbled about the non-lethal nature of Alpha's plan when the driver requested a higher bribe, threatened him with lacerations. Aphra played it off as a joke, and she and 000 were granted passage. The driver indicated that 000 would need a ride in the droid wagon, but upon realizing that he would be separate for them more than 20 meters, and as 000 complained, conversation with other droids under the influence of straining bolts would be abysmal. Aphra offered another 50 credits, and the driver indicated 000 could ride in the luggage rack. 000, displeased by the insinuation made explicit threats against the driver, who had trained a blaster on him, and calmed in a report about a droid being defective. Yeah, great. Lovely.
All right, he can ride on the luggage rack.
And then he grumbled, and here's a blaster. So 000 continued his rhetoric, but was thrown off the platform by a trio of security drones. Aphra follows suit, but not to trigger the bombs, and found that 000 had encountered another life form. The beast grabbed 000 in its mouth until commanded a release the droid by a young girl riding on top of it. 000 moved to kill the girl, but Aphra protested, explaining that the creature was a gwobble worm.
Okay, we gotta look this up.
An animal known to be fiercely protective of his owner and immune to pain. 000 critiqued immunity to pain as an inefficient design, but relented upon determining that Aphra was beginning to form another plan. I don't know if do we have a picture of this?
Kinda. It's weird.
Okay. Well, this one has a name. Interesting.
Uh-oh. My internet froze. Oh, there we go.
Oh no. Okay, there. Yeah, that's more of a. That's not like it doesn't look like a worm. It looks like one gigantic. It looks like a worm with like tentacle arms.
Yeah. Yeah, something out of like World of Warcraft almost.
So Aphra introduced herself to the girl, Vulda Clam, as did 000, and Aphra and 000 inquired whether the Gwobble Grottle could get them to their destination in a timely manner. Clam confirmed as much, and Aphra offered her money and even 000 himself if she wanted him. 000 objected and called Aphra out for her continued reliance on deception and betrayal, noting she had never stuck around long enough to consider the effects it had on others. Wow.
I love this. The murderous robots calling out Aphra.
Right.
About deception and betrayal.
You're the one killing people indiscriminately and causing more trouble.
But he's being truthful about it.
Oh boy, because murder is great upon being truthful. So 000, Aphra, and Clam rode a girl. Aphra talking to Clam about her past all the while. 000 stated to Aphra that she saw much of herself in the younger girl, and that the two were truly alike. Odds were high that Clam would betray them. Alfred dismissed 000, saying that he didn't know anything about her, but the droid retorted that over his long period of observing her, he had never known anyone she would not betray. Alfred then spotted a reanimated Tam Pasla, who fired upon the group in oversized energy weapons. 000 prepared to kill Pazla again until Pazla revealed that he had tricked Aphra in the droid via 000's control codes and revealed a reassembled BT-1.
Hey, BT-1's back. Oh no,
boy.
BT-1's back.
Right? Oh, he's back. Oh, no. So 000 spoke to BT-1, lamenting his former companion's suffering and expressing incredibly both towards Posla and the idea of the lawman expected the astromech to turn against his counterpart. The protocol droid instructed BT-1 to prove Posla wrong, but was tackled by Aphra as the homicidal astro droid unleashed a volley of missiles at the duo.
Yeah, so
he's back.
He's back and he's not on your side.
Oh boy. So 000 interrupted BT-1's outburst as an attempt to kill Aphra and not himself, trusting the droid's heat-proof chassis to keep him safe, and then attempted to explain that he and Aphra's lives were momentarily dependent on each other's survival before the doctor pulled him down for a second time. Again, escaping BT's assault, Aphra suggested that while locate Volodon's clam, hoping that she could lead him to Prexlo, but 000 shut down the idea, viewing Clam's disappearance as a betrayal.
To be fair, I would have booked it out of there too if you see an astromech just blasting you.
Yeah, no kidding. And an astromech, specifically an astromech, like the typically the droids that don't have many, weapons.
Aren't known for weapons. They're known for, astronavigation.
Right. Yeah, that's a problem. So Posla attempted to retrieve 000 and Aphra using the Force, but the pair were saved by the intervention of Win-Loss and Nock, a pair of monster hunters Aphra had previously double-crossed. Aphra recalled the hunter's code against killing, something 000 questioned, and was about to talk to them before Win-Loss trained a blaster on her. Feigning self-defense, Win-Loss then turned his weapon on 000, his and Nock's intended target, but the droid was saved by the timely appearance of BT-1, who began attacking the hunters.
A code against killing, except for people who backstab them.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. So Win-Loss and Nock incapacitated TB1, causing Aphra to order a retreat, much to 000's
chagrin.
Aphra reasoned with 000 and BT-1 and not to control his actions, and the hunters were still a threat, making an emotional point of the protocol droid's plan and his inability to save his friend. Finding her words were without success, the archaeologist then switched arguments, appealing to 000's self-preserved lack of emotion. 000 complied, but then threatened Aphra that should she make any similar statements in the future about claiming to know pain, she would instruct her further in the subject. Dear God.
She meant emotional pain. Emotional pain.
Right, not physical pain. God. She knows all about that. So 000 and Aphra continue making their way through the Undercity, the droid berating Aphra for continuing the search for Clam. Aphra reminded 000 for Clam's promise to help them, to which 000 reminded her of a phony promise to provide him with payment, as payment, and stating a belief that neither party was entirely insincere. 000 dismissed the idea of relying on loyalty, causing Aphra to come in the realization with the droid's doubts stemmed from BT-1 turning against him.
To be fair, I don't think BT-1 willingly turned against him.
He's reprogrammed. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
So, it's not like, 000, he has his own matrix that has survived, since the Old Republic.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing. So, Aphra reasoned that with what she had seen BT-1 accomplish in the past, she and 000 could be dead, and there would be still some part of the astromech that had deliberately allowed the two to escape unscathed. 000 considered the notion, almost becoming sentimental momentarily before dismissing the idea of loyalty as an illogical construct that existed only in the minds of organics. Aphra and 000 then encountered Clam. I'm sorry, the more I hear more of 000, the more I hear of HK-47 here.
I have no doubt that 000 protocol matrix might have been based around the HK.
Would not be surprised. So Clam brought 000 and Alpha aboard a bloat barge, a roaming Imperial gas collecting machine. 000 disparaged the vehicle's slow rate of travel, and upon Clam's reaffirming the good faith of her deal with Aphra, began to search for vermin to mutilate as a distraction. Aphra spoke to Clam about 000, whom the latter still desired for scrap, and Clam inquired of Aphra whether she could reprogram the droid. If only. Only if you could. She would have done it in a heartbeat ago. The moment she found him. So the archaeologists attributed her inability to do so to numerous circumstances, including that 000 would not let her get close enough that he had developed an awareness of her methods, but ultimately admitted that she had previous opportunities to deactivate the droid for good, but could not bring herself to do it, as she was one who brought him online in the first place. The pair agreed that 000 would not extend the same loyalty in return, but that it was ultimately irrelevant.
And I'm sure she's regretting that now. Not being bring him online in the first place.
Yep, I would. That's terrible. So shortly thereafter, 000 informed Aphra that they had encountered a problem. Emerging from the bloat barge, the trio that were confronted by the forces of the Milvan Authority, led by Tam Posla. Aphra wondered how they could have been found, a question 000 deemed irrelevant as he evaluated combat strategies. Without weapons, Aphra deemed them out of options, at which point 000 grabbed Clam as a hostage and threatened her well-being. Clam, having taken Aphra's blaster, shot 000, revealed her treachery, and knocked Aphra unconscious.
I mean, she's got to look out after herself.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you took her hostage, man. What do you expect?
Right. So, but yeah. With that being said, let's take a quick mid-break, thank our patrons, and we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We talk about everything with the podcast. This has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can even leave us ratings, reviews on Apple and Spotify. You leave 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. We'll read out loud next time on the show. Which, let me see if we have anything on Apple. We do not. We don't have anything on Apple, but we do have one on Spotify. From our friend Elwick004, from our last part 3 of 000, asking us if we do any cosplay. Yes, I do. I do Ren fairs. I've gone to Star Wars events as a Jedi. Yes, I have full-on cosplayed, and still do. So, yes, to your question. I don't know about Dojo, though.
I don't. I live in the South, and there's not a lot down here to do.
You can cosplay at freaking Disney. Don't give me that excuse. You can go to Disney in cosplay.
They don't let you
They
cosplay in Disney. No, they don't.
Yeah, actually, no. It's they have costume rules where you can. You can't be any characters that they represent. Like you can't be Rey, Kylo, or you can't be a stormtrooper, but you can be in Jedi robes at Disney.
Yeah, but
because trust me, I've looked and I wore my Jedi robes at Disney when I bought them.
Oh.
They sell them in the freaking stores. Of course, you can wear that stuff. I see people cosplay all the time when I go to Disney. So don't give me that excuse, Dojo. I know. Anyway, yeah, other than that, you can also find us in a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcast and Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that we host, or I host, which are the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. I do too many, so I almost forgot. And then,
news.
News.
In news, first off, modders have turned Starfield into a 100 gigabyte plus mod called Star Wars Genesis.
Dude, I couldn't tell you how fast I'm so tempted on buying the Steam version of Starfield just for that mod.
It probably gave that game new life.
Dude,
we're being honest.
If anybody hasn't seen gameplay, look up Star Wars Genesis on YouTube or TikTok or wherever you go. Look up gameplay. They overhauled the living hell out of Starfield. Oh my! There's over 300 mods in this for Genesis that uses. It changes characters to where it adds planets like Tatooine, Hoth. I think it adds Coruscant. I don't know if it adds Coruscant or not, because that's a lot. I know it adds Tatooine and Hoth and a bunch of other Star Wars planets, and it has its own. They changes the storyline to where you have like a Star Wars storyline. There's new backgrounds that you can have be any alien species from the Star Wars universe. It changes characters, specific characters into like your companions into Star Wars aliens, NPCs into Star Wars aliens. You can go to Tatooine and see Jawas and them actually talking in the Jawa language because they just took and like I've seen video of someone you can find HK-47 on Tatooine, and it's literally it has HK-47's voice. They literally just ripped it from KOTOR 1. But yeah, it's so cool. It's so freaking cool. Now I know Starfield's supposed to get like an overhaul update supposedly in the coming future, so that might screw up Genesis. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, no, it changes. So like the rover you have, you can make it a land speeder instead, and a bunch of stuff. It's insane. I don't know if you watched any gameplay of it.
A little bit, not too much, but
they also changed the Starborn abilities into Force powers, which is really cool. And they also confirmed in the next month or so they're adding lightsabers to the mod.
Oh, that's murdering all the way through.
Yeah, I mean it looks so cool. In Starfield, as far as the last time I checked, Starfield was on sale on Steam for like $30, $35. So, and it's only the Steam version specifically for this, by the way. So,
it's no longer on sale.
Oh, it's no longer on sale? Oh.
No, it's back up to $70.
I should have bought it when it was on sale last week. Damn it. That's my own fault. I'll go back on sale again. It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, any other news?
No. Let's talk
that's
about
official?
That other thing.
No, because nothing's official. I don't want to put something on here that's not official.
Okay.
I don't want to give people's hopes ups or anything like that if it doesn't happen. So that's why I don't want to do that until we get an official announcement. Then yes, absolutely.
For those of you wondering, current date is January 6th, and there are rumors going around, just for reference.
Yes, there's rumors of possible changes at Lucasfilm to where a specific person becomes in charge. A person we all love and hold dear in our hearts for Star Wars. His name rhymes with Maeve Filoni. So, there you go. Anyway, let's go back into 000.
What if I told you you only have 12 hours to legally have sex?
To finding true love. Or just like a good guy.
From the director of Easy A and Anyone But You.
This whole thing is nuts.
There's nothing traditional about this night.
On August 7th, the clock starts on the summer's biggest rom-com.
I'm Owen.
Allie.
What about you and me?
Monica Barbaro, Callum Turner.
I've been told I'm a 7.
By who? Your mom?
No, she thinks I'm a 10.
One night only. Rated R. Only in theaters August 7th.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
Why did I search the internet for answers to my cold sore problem? Now I'm stuck down a rabbit hole filled with images of alarmingly graphic sores in various stages of ooze. I can clear my search history, but I can never unsee that.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Amazon Health AI gets you the right care fast. Healthcare just got less painful.
All right, so 000, devoid of his legs. First, he doesn't have his legs anymore. Was bound to Aphra, the two of whom were taken to a rooftop in Mulvane City and sentenced by Puzzla. Aphra attempted to sow discord among the officers of the law, denouncing Puzzla as an account of his undead status, to which 000 informed her that the two systems in the galaxy with regulations against such a thing, Mavon was not among them. Wow.
Two systems? What two systems?
That's what I'm wondering. I was like, what are you talking about? But okay. 000 instead suggested the officials present would not want to outdone by Puzzla given his status as a rogue agent, leading Aphra to condemn him as a vigilante whose license has been revoked. One of the constables present. Constables. Oh, geez, I said that completely wrong. Constables present confirmed Alfred claimed, and the lawmen turned their guns on the presiding officer. Puzzla unleashed his wrath upon the officers, or on the others, and 000 encouraged Alfred to flee, strapped atop her back. Oh my God!
I would like to point out
it's a freaking whole Chewbacca C3PO moment here.
Yeah, but she does have the strength of a Wookiee.
True. This is true.
And that's going to slow her down.
Yeah. So Aphra eventually slowed under 000's weight, coming to a fuel stop equipped with the repair rig. The archaeologist offered to fix 000's legs, a course of action he initially refused as he would require Aphra to disconnect his matrix, and the droid did not trust her to reactivate him.
Now, hang on. C-3PO was able to reattach his legs while active.
Yeah. That's true. There's also an astromech doing that too.
Yeah. But still, I mean, I don't understand the physics of that.
Oh. So Aphra admitted her own unreliability, but observing Mullane's toxicity and distrust came to advocate the placement of one's faith in others. 000 cited nausea of Alfred's words, expressed a desire to vomit, but relent to the procedure on the grounds that the pair would not make progress if they could not travel. The Prohard droid started to make one final threat towards Aphra as she deactivated him, which she acknowledged.
I love that. Aphra's like, fair enough, I probably will, but you gotta trust me on this.
Click.
Otherwise, we're screwed.
Yeah. So Aphra fitted 000 with a seismic pulse capable of disabling him, activated by the Phrase 6 Omega Green 2. 000 reactivated 10 minutes later, just as Aphra had promised. Running a self-diagnostics, the droid compiled an update on the situation, providing time to detonation, proximity to Prexo, and confirmation that the Aphra had in fact fixed him. Oh.
Whole diagnostics and yep, she fixed me and I'm awake.
Aphra began to leave, but 000 grabbed her and leapt onto a passing transport, saving the droid from an oncoming spear launched by Noct. 000 denied saving Aphra, only himself reminded her of the proximity trigger on their explosives. Aphra attributed the maneuver as an expression of decency and a repayment for their repairs, a statement 000 insisted she take back.
I mean, if
just
she
say
died...
one nice thing, dude. Like, that's all she's asking for. My God.
No.
No. So Aphra and 000 kept moving atop the air traffic. 000 started to fall behind, complaining that she was not built for such tasks. When it Noct ambushed him from above, only to be blasted out of the air by BT-1. 000, overcome by the astromech's reappearance, approached BT-1 against Aphra's warning and triggered a cage set by the hunters. Noct rejoined Win-Loss, their quarry in tow. Dear gosh. So suddenly a turbo laser blast from an Imperial Star Destroyer above knocked out one of the engines and on a Win-Loss in Noct's ship, sending it into a spiral. Believing death was imminent, Aphra asked 000 if people were capable of change, an idea of the protocol droid refuted as the hunters abandoned ship. 000 noted that Aphra that she has an oft lonely failure, and in the attempts to cope, often compromise those around her as the two plummeted towards the unknown fate down below.
That's a hell of a shot for a Star Destroyer.
Is it, though?
Yeah, I mean, for a Star Destroyer to hit a moving target the size of an engine, I mean, most times they need a spotter on the ground for when they're doing space to ground artillery.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So Aphra awoke to find herself in the presence of Captain Okma of the Imperial Coalition for Progress, who stated that his intent to disassemble 000 to discover who was broadcasting the day's events, but only after reactivating the feed and forcing Aphra to publicly embrace Imperial law and the Emperor's love.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the psychopath who planted the bomb in them has been broadcasting the entire thing for the world to see.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that.
Hence why there was a Star Destroyer out of nowhere. So, Okma reiterated his offer, noting that Aphra would save herself while 000 met his end. For Aphra utilized the command phrase to trigger the seismic pulse she had rigged within the droid, incapacitating herself and all Imperial forces. 000 awoke and, to kill time, murdered the unconscious Imperials. The droid then asked Okma for his high access clearance codes, to which the offer provided a hostile response, leading 000 to feel inspired and mutilate him as well. 000 acquired the codes anyway. The droid then waited for Aphra to awake from her supper, and the archaeologist having taken the brunt of the pulse.
Oh yeah, just kill time that you
let
can't
me
afford
murder all
to
of you.
Kill. They can't afford to kill time at this point.
Yeah, they're already dead. So Aphra regained consciousness, and 000 commented on her helpless state, much of his own previously at the first fuel stop. Aphra attempted to defend herself, at which point the droid explained his deduction of everything that had transpired, including Aphra's installation of a seismic pulse inside his chassis, which she would likely have triggered once the bombs were removed. Yeah, well. 000 explained that such actions would result in a lethal consequence, pulverizing his matrix, had Aphra not opt to invert the pulse outward as she did to incapacitate the Imperials. 000 described the move as clever, and Aphra's inquiry went on to explain that he had done to the Imperials in the time while the Doctor was out.
Well played, Aphra. Well played.
By the way, I killed all these guys. Oh no. Aphra revolted, observed as much as 000's disregarded loyalty, he displeased betrayal, to which the droid informed the archaeologist that he did not consider her actions a betrayal, but an entirely reasonable countermeasure to prevent her own death. 000 further praised Aphra's execution, noting that she chose to use the device on the Imperials rather than him.
Look, you weren't planning on betraying me. You're planning to get out alive, and I respect that.
Right.
Because I've been threatening you this entire time.
Yeah. So the doctor then asked why 000 had maimed and tortured Okma, to which the droid revealed that his request for the man's clearance codes. Aphra questioned why 000 wanted Imperial codes, to which he responded that he had gone fond of their partnership and wished to assist her, projecting confidential footage of Tolvin collaborating with the rebellion from Okma's cam droid.
Tolvin. Oh,
Tolvin.
the
Yep.
X.
The
X.
X. Yeah. So Aphra became overjoyed at seeing Tolvin alive and well, smiling in a similar line of work. She began to cry, remembering 000's earlier comment that she had the same, and reflecting that he was the only one who had ever caused her to shed happy tears. Seeing Aphra so deeply moved, 000 began to regret his decision, but the doctor told him to shut up and decided there should be no favors owed between the two.
Why are you crying? There's no crying and murdering.
Right. So Aphra, grateful for 000's actions, opted to script the droid's lost memories, allowing him to relive his greatest tortures and possibly discover the reason of his creation. 000 then rendered speechless, and Aphra provided the passcode, hopeless. Wow. All right. I guess that's a password for you. So 000 memories flashed through his mind, causing him to deactivate. Reactivating shortly, the droid jolted awake in a panic, exclaiming the word fraud. 000 explained to Aphra the true circumstances of his creation, and that he conceived as a fluke rather than design as a torturer and killer from the start. So
My
he was
whole
a defect.
life is a fraud.
His whole life was a defect. Aphra attempted to confront the droid, but he expressed his disgust at himself, beginning to wander away, and out of the proximity range of the bombs. 000 thanked Aphra for choosing him, but noted that, as usual, she had made the wrong decision, as the disabled archaeologist pleaded with the droid.
Oh, he begged her, threatened her, almost tortured her to get this thing decrypted, and when she finally does, he blames her.
Mm-hmm. So 000 ignored Aphra's pleas, but came to a stop upon hearing a familiar bleep. The protocol droid returned to Aphra in a reactivated BT-1, whom Aphra restored using power from the astromech's logic matrix. 000 questioned whether BT-1 was truly back under Aphra's control, causing the droid to shoot a blade into Aphra's leg, affirming his identity.
Are you back, or are you under Aphra's control?
Shank.
You're back!
Right? 000 then decided his suicide attempt was overly impulsive, citing that one's own pointlessness often hurt less than shared among friends. The sentiment earned a positive reaction from Milivand's tuned into Evelyn's broadcast, and both Aphra and the protocol droid set out to find Prezzo atop BT-1.
You know this is the best drama this planet's seen in a while.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a great show, Mom. What am I watching?
You're never watching it again.
The combination of blood, Aphra's being in pain, and cheers from the locals made 000 feel at home, though he conceded to BT-1 that he would have preferred screams of agony. Aphra voiced concern that BT-1 would be unable to reach Prezzo in time, which 000 acknowledged, but defended the astromech given his recently
reconstituted.
Constituted. Yeah, constituted state.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, he is a reactivated state. Whatever.
Yeah.
The trio then.
I love that. I love that. It's like, well, these cheers are nice. I prefer screams in agony, but this is close
nice. This is
second.
nice.
Close
It's like, this
second.
is fine. Like, you're in a house on fire. This is fine. I prefer something else, but this is fine. So the trio ran into Clam, causing 000 to unsheath his blade digits, who apologized for betraying the group. Aphra voiced her forgiveness, which 000 interpreted as empathy, given that she would have made a similar decision, but Aphra clarified that they had required Groddle to increase their pace of travel. The party reached Prezzo's clinic. 000 noticed a note on the door indicating Prezzo's extended absence, just as a group of stormtroopers arrived to confront the miscreants. BT-1 and Aphra opened fire, starting a fight, and 000 entered into a melee. The Imperial commander then directed Tam Pozla into the conflict. 000, thirsting for revenge, ambushed and immobilated Pozla, ending him for good. Aphra intercepted Pozla's final shot and intended for Clam, beginning a planetary uprising.
I love that you get to the clinic that can save your life. Be back in 5 minutes.
Right.
It's been there for an hour.
Mm-hmm. So as Aphra laid wounded, perhaps dying, 000 reminded her that the implants were set to go off in 30 seconds. The protocol droid opted not to be disturbed. BT-1 from the fun of the murderous rampage for a goodbye, waiting out of time. 000 refused Aphra's request and relocate surrounding civilians before their explosive death, but admitted that he had to be glad to be together with the Doctor in their final moments and requested that they not ruin it for their selfless action. With a selfish action. I don't care about civilians. I just want to be with you.
Yeah. I'm not saving civilians. You know that's not my game.
Right.
I am happy I'm dying with you.
So 000 and Aphra braced themselves, unaware of the win-loss and Noct, aided by Prexa, had apprehended Elvizan and deactivated the bombs. Noct then ordered Prexa to terminate Elvizan's broadcasts. 000 concluded that the bombs had been rendered inert. And Aphra asked the protocol droid what came next. 000 momentarily deployed his blades, but then retracted them, bidding Aphra goodbye, and leaving with BT-1.
Yay, happy ending.
And there's one more part after this.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry, listeners.
One more part. It's okay. It's just one more part. Yeah. Blame Dojo. It's his fault. So. Yeah. Got part 5. One more part. So. Anyway, do you have any final thoughts or anything on this week's BT-1 or 000? Not BT-1.
Yeah. Are we seeing a little change of heart in 000 here today? Is he pulling a Grinch? Is his heart growing 3 times the size?
I mean, maybe. It's hard to say.
I mean, he's been on such an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, no kidding. Literal roller coaster. So, but yeah, all right. Well, I mean, that's what we have on BT, or I keep saying I want to say BT-1, 000. No, we're not doing an episode on BT-1 because this is just rehash everything. So, yeah, not doing that. But we have one more part of 000, and then we'll probably go into Old Republic stuff. So if anybody has any like Old Republic characters or things you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments in Spotify or Apple, or hop in the Discord. Let us know what you want to hear for Old Republic related stuff, because we've already done Revan, we've done Valkorian / Vitiate, and then I think did we do Nihilus? It's been so long, I can't remember if we've done Nihilus or not. I mean,
we could do all 3 again.
I think we've done, and we could. It's just, it'll just rehash everything, though. That's, like, I don't want to do that. I think we did Bastila too. I think.
I mean, we can do Scion. We can do Treya.
Oh, we could do them. Yeah, that's true.
We can do the events of the Sith War.
Ooh, we could
that
do
takes place after KOTOR.
Oh, we did Satil.
Did we? Or I
well,
can't
me
remember.
and.
But which Satil?
Satil Shan. Though there's only one Satil Shan.
You
Satil
said
from SWTOR.
Oh, I was thinking of Bastila Shan.
We did Temporary Vitiate. Let's see, what else did we go over? I didn't realize how many we did. We did Malgus. I don't remember doing Malgus. We did Darth Malgus. I did not realize. Like, me and Teacup did so much. We did Star Killer, obviously.
He's not Old Republic.
No. Oh, we did do Bastila. We did Revan. And oh no, I don't want to listen to my own episode. I already have to freaking record these. I don't need to listen to myself. Okay, it looks like that's mainly what we did. So we haven't done Nihilus. So we haven't done the
Oh, we can do a Sith Triumvirate.
That's what I was thinking of. Yes, from KOTOR 2. We could do Darth Treya, Darth Nihilus, and Darth Scion.
And the Sith War for.
Yeah, we could do the Jedi Civil War. We could do the Mandalorian Wars.
Not Civil War, the Sith
Wars. Yeah, we can do the Sith Wars. Because I think wasn't there more than one?
Well, there's after KOTOR, there was the Sith Wars, which led to the Sith Triumvirate, which led to KOTOR 2.
Right. You're right. Yeah, we could do that. There's a lot of things we could do with KOTOR and Old Republic stuff, because me and Dojo are huge Old Republic fans. Like, that's our favorite time period in Star Wars. If you've heard me talk about Star Wars, you've heard me talk about KOTOR a lot, or SWTOR a lot. So anyway, that's what we have. Just so stay tuned for that stuff. Obviously, we have one more part of 000, and then we'll get into that stuff. So fun things in the future. So with that being said, everybody, thank you again for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic.